Jaiswal, his own assistant, and a letter from Bihar, Patna BJP's office also, requested Election Commission of India to delete these voters. And just it may be an accidental irony, but Mr. Pawan Kumar Jaiswal won the seat in 2020 by a margin of 10,118 votes. And when these reporters tried to reach out to Mr. Jaiswal repeatedly and Bihar BJP, and they said कि दिल्ली वाले बिहार के मैटर्स में काहे अपना क्यों घुस रहे हैं? And that's what sir is all about. And then with 3 lakh people who have, who gave a form in July, enumeration forms in July, where it was clearly written that any false information would be liable to punishment. 3 lakh people give their names to be added in July, and now 3 lakh people have said कि अब हमारा नाम काट दो. 700 people claim to be a foreign national. They wake up today and they realize they're foreign national. And the biggest joke is 28 people have written to Election Commission saying they are dead and their name should be struck off. These are the stars. There are multiple stars. These are 2 examples that have come forward in last 2 days, and I'm bringing it up to bring the glaring inadequacies, the willful deletion, the willful massive disenfranchisement, deleting 76,818 Muslim votes. And when there's a Gram Panchayat called Fulvaria, when these reporters reached this Gram Panchayat, the Sarpanch and some 80 villagers' name have been given to be struck off, and they said they've been living here for generations, and their forefathers participated in freedom struggle too. They had this certificate of freedom struggle, and now saying ki घुसपैठ here and foreign national, I don't know what reasons, but these 80,000 Muslims' names have been cut off. So who is benefiting, sir, when Bihar BJP sends a letter asking Election Commission to sir? So this is crystal clear, and this is benefiting whom? This is not only, you're not only acting in cahoots with the Sarkar, with the government at the state and the center, but it's also massive disenfranchisement when 46 of the 243 assemblies, the maximum deletion is of women. Who looks at the standing at the disadvantaged position is the SC, STs, OBC, extremely backward people, and women too. And that's what we are saying. It's a massive disenfranchisement of people who only assurance from the state was their universal adult franchise. They had the power. Similar to you and me or anybody, similar to Pawan Kumar Jaiswal, this Fulvaria Sarpanch had the power to elect or reject a candidate, and this is being taken away. This is being taken away by nefarious means. Who is Bharatiya Janata Party to write a letter saying कि 80,000 लोगों के नाम काट दो electoral roll से. So the electoral roll will be out, and we are still looking at Supreme Court, who is saying that even if the voter list is released, they can take an action. And let's see how many glaring inadequacies, glaring acts of omissions throws out this list throws out how many glaring acts of omission, and which categories of people are disenfranchised, because this is just 2 stars that I presented, but it shows that it's a willful exercise to delete a certain section of voters so that you get advantage in Bihar elections. And because last time you made governments were razor thin margin, and you don't want to leave any stone unturned, so bring up an exercise which actually leads to massive disenfranchisement of people disadvantaged in society, and they may have exercised their power of voting. And let's see how the voter list turns out. But these stats are numbing. These stats are speak of disaster in the name of what do you say, electoral democracy. When some assistant of MLA writes a letter कि 80,000 लोगों के Muslims लोगों के नाम काट दो, this speaks of how we are treading the paths of electoral democracy, and it's dangerous. It's not only dangerous for opposition कि उनके voters के नाम काट जाएंगे, it's dangerous for the very idea of democracy at stake here. Because what we are enshrined by Constitution, what fundamental right is the universal adult franchise, it's a big power in our hands. It cannot be taken away by any executive, action. And that's what SIR is about. SIR is about massive disenfranchisement of disadvantaged people. And we're looking at the electoral rolls. We'll have our our concerns and also when it said that many political parties, we actually gave 40 lakh plus complaints to Election Commission of India on the wrongdoings in the SIR exercise. And let's see how many of them are being addressed, how many are they giving any answers to it, conclusions to it. Let's see. I'm still waiting for the SIR draft rule to be out.
Okay, all right. Mr. Naveen Dubey, In fact, the Supreme Court also made it very, very clear, and I read that in my opening monologue as well, that this is going to be, a precedent not only for Bihar but for the rest of the country as well. The Supreme Court also went on to say that inclusion en masse, not exclusion en masse, is the priority here.
Definitely, Mr. Beneath, we have seen when Mr. Rahul Gandhi charged the ECI as well as the BJP that there is a institutionalized vote theft is happening in Bihar during the course of SIR. Ultimately, we were thinking that this is a very simple type of the allegation and nothing will going to happen. But when Supreme Court taking this matter into the consideration and ultimately Supreme Court advised the ECI to consider the Aadhaar card as a primary evidence of a voter, that is considered. Ultimately, right now, we are waiting to disclosure of this final list and what will happen after. We are expecting around 14 lakhs voters are added, new voters are added. And right now, the Pooja Tripathi was claiming that so many people from the Muslim constituencies and other areas, votes were deleted around 64 or 65,000 something. So, this is the time to check when this list will be disclosed as a final list, what is going to happen there in Bihar and what type of the warnings and the instructions given by the Honorable Supreme Court to ECI. Did they follow it in the same way or the manipulations done by the ruling party as well as the ECI? This is the major issue. And further, we think that this entire SIR process will take place in the other states like Bengal, Tamil Nadu, everywhere, UP also. Then what will be the criteria? So this Bihar election will set a line for the SIR, or as far as you told that on the 7th of this, the October, there will be again a hearing in Supreme Court, and Supreme Court already told that if any discrepancies found in the list, it can be immediately sorted out with the complaint of any of the voters. So this is a good thing, I think, and Supreme Court is now seriously monitoring this entire process. So we can hope that this process will be very crystal clear and there will be no partiality take place as far as the Bihar election is concerned.
All right, some breaking news coming in. The Election Commission has released the voter list in Bihar with the final data released after the SIR is the breaking news coming in. The much awaited development for Bihar ahead of the assembly polls. The controversial special intensive revision process has concluded with the Election Commission releasing the final electoral list is what we are learning at this point in time. Mr. Parimal Singh, spokesperson for the JDU, also joins us on the broadcast to talk more about this. Mr. Singh, how are you placed when it comes to this exercise? Obviously, there is a downside when it comes to this kind of a revision, but the fact of the matter is that the Supreme Court thinks so far that more voters there are, the better it is for democracy.
First of all, to congratulate Election Commission to perform its constitutional and legislative responsibility. Election Commission was conducting its responsibility under Article 324 of the Constitution. And one important point, under Article 326 of the Constitution, one have particularly voting right. And through voting right, we exercise the sovereign power. You know that particularly sovereignty in India rests with the people of India collectively, and the people exercise this power through voting right, provided under Article 326 of the Constitution. Actually, the entire exercise was in the interest of the people. It was in the interest to strengthen the democratic setup and democratic process. But the SIR revealed the dark face of Congress Party and RJD and opposition, or you can say Mahagathbandhan. Actually, Mahagathbandhan is afraid of the increasing popularity of my Honorable Chief Minister, Visionary Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, who is known for development in the social justice. Name Nitish Kumar is institutionalized form of development, social justice, women's empowerment, and particularly upliftment of downtrodden sections of the society. Performed well since last 20 years, and you see normally any party is work or perform its responsibility for a long period. the concept of incumbency work, but in context of our leader, pro-incumbency practice is going on, and there is tsunami in favor of our honorable leader. That's why Mahagathbandhan was afraid and was raising the question on the constitutional institution like election commission. You know that entire particular process was under the supervision of Supreme Court. One important point. Actually, we are in favor of the actual voter, okay? And actually, we congratulate all 7.24 crore voters who have been involved in the election, this current election, final election. But intention of Mahagathbandhan was to create a parallel election law, including using illegal migrants, okay, Guspati, okay? Actually, they tried a lot to give communal colorization to SIR. This is very disastrous by the Mahagathbandhan, and this revealed that the Mahagathbandhan has no particular belief in the Constitution, has no belief in the election commission, has no belief in the Supreme Court. Again and again, it tried to raise the question and impede the process, but the people of Bihar solidly strengthened by the election commission, and they participated a lot. Okay, we, as a part of Janata Dal United, launched a cycle yatra to create awareness type of program, so that legal voters should be included in the voter list and illegal voters should be eliminated. But the intention of Mahagathbandhan debate to give communal colorization to the election commission, and you see the in nutshell you can say the main concern of Mahagathbandhan is the increasing popularity of Nitish Kumar in this election 2025. The type of popularity our leader is gaining, actually the RJD will be particularly limited on single leagues, and actually there will be complete washed out of Mahagathbandhan from Bihar. And as far as the question of Congress is concerned, the intention of Congress is not to prepare background, to form a background for the assembly for 2025. Actually, Rahul Gandhi's intention is to make preparation for 2029. He traveled a lot in Bihar. He is the witness of the development of Bihar, and his intention remains to marginalize his political partner, the RJD. That's why so far, Rahul Gandhi or Congress not announced or Mahagathbandhan not announced the chief ministerial candidate, because you know that the leader of RJD, who is ninth grade, known as visionary leader by the people of RJD and Mahagathbandhan, you should know that he has lost his popularity because he is raising illegal or particularly question and making fraud type of particular statement. He has no role, the RJD has no role in the development of Bihar. The Bihar witnessed jungle law during Lalu Yadav, jungle law again. Actually, the people of Bihar will not allow the jungle laws to be returned, and that is the reason why the Mahagathbandhan see no any particular reason to stand in Bihar, and that's why actually as a face-saving device they were opposing the election commission from conducting SIR. SIR is must actually, and you know that Bihar became the first state to conduct SIR, and it will be the Home Minister has announced, the election commission itself announced that SIR will be conducted throughout the country, and it is very positive.
All right, okay. Mr. Bariyar, would you like to respond to Dr. Pooja Tripathi as well?
Say that, Congress party is a very good script writer. Whoever writes the script is pretty good. And second that, and she is just, narrating the same script. From where this, all these things, data and all that she is ascribing to, that remains to be seen. But very importantly, she is saying that all these 80,000, see again, it is Congress which is a communal party. They keep bringing Muslims, Hindus into that. We never do that. We always talk about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. And she's saying that 80,000 people, if Muslims are deleted, who will benefit? So, Pooja Tripathi यही कह रही है कि सिर्फ मुसलमान ही उनको वोट देते हैं, हिंदू तो देते ही नहीं है वोट. इसीलिए ये सारी चीजें हो रही हैं. But she is wrong there also. Many from Muslim community, because of the the programs right from Teen Talaq to many things. Muslim community people also understand that Congress party has destroyed this country, over a period of 50, 60 years. And they were the ones who sowed all these seeds of communalism. As a party, BJP doesn't differentiate. Everyone is a citizen of this country, and we do not look at from the color of the, the religion, the color of the caste. This is not BJP. And that is why, all these things, and from where she has got the data, because the data that has been released by Election Commission up till now only 30,000. But anyway, this list has been released. I have not seen this list, so it will be unfair for me to comment. But all these deletions she's talking, she's all, making stories. Otherwise, till election, as I told earlier, till 7 days, 8 days before election, you can fill up Form 6 and not even a single voter would be disenfranchised. So the intentions are not good. It is only to create confusion. It is only to create some kind of a panic among voters, which, the electorate of Bihar, the people of Bihar has rejected. First, they have to sort out the differences between their party and RJD and how many number of seats they are going to get, because they are nowhere in the picture. Congress party is not in the picture in Bihar election. So I don't know what is the legitimacy of all these things she is saying, because they are riding on the back of RJD, and RJD is not ready to give seats to them. So where is this question of all these things? But anyway, as I told, that Supreme Court is there. It is monitored by Supreme Court. Supreme Court has also said that we will not allow anybody to be disenfranchised. And we've always welcomed such court orders, isn't it? And today's, the list will tell the story about what exactly is the case. But the data suggests, and the people of this country and people of Bihar know, that 98.3 forms were returned back. So it was overwhelmingly backed by the electorate of Bihar. And it was an exercise that was very well received, and there was no wrongdoings as such. Yes, right. Some kind of mistakes
Mr.
might
Baria,
happen,
just hold on to the thought.
My
colleague Anand Singh is also joining us. He's going to give us the latest updates which are coming in. Anand, the much awaited development for the Bihar Assembly polls, the SIR, the Special Intensive Revision process has concluded. What can you tell us?
Yeah, look, the way in which the SIR exercise was taken up by the Election Commission in Bihar just ahead of the crucial assembly polls, and the exercise began in the month of June, and now today the Election Commission has released the final voter list for Bihar. As whatever details we are getting as of now, as we have seen earlier, that's how around 65 lakh voters were removed from the draft voter rolls that was released last month. So clearly, the new voter roll, that is the final voter roll, it has stated that how around 3 lakh people are going to get the Election Commission notices for submitting their documents, as their document is incomplete, and whatever other documents are required from them will be asked from them. So clearly, the Election Commission is giving time to such voters whose documents are incomplete, whereas in several of the districts we have seen that how there has been increase in the number of voters, especially the new voters, and as in Muzaffarpur, just for example, around more than 88,000.
All right, Anand, some more breaking news coming in. Well, days after Karur stampede, TVK chief Vijay has released his first response, releasing a video which has said, and I quote, "I have not faced a painful situation like this in my life. My heart aches, only pain in my heart. But what should not have happened, happened. We did not do anything wrong." Vijay further challenged Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, saying, "CM sir, if you have an intention to take revenge, do anything to me. Do not touch them. I'll either be home or in my office. Do anything you want to do to me." Let's in fact listen it.
என் லைஃப்பில் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பெயின்ஃபுல்லான ஒரு சுச்சுவேஷனை நான் ஃபேஸ் பண்ணதே கிடையாது. மனசு முழுக்க வலி வலி மட்டும்தான். இந்த சுற்றுப்பயணத்தில் என்னென்ன மக்கள் பார்க்க வராங்க, அதுக்கு ஒரே ஒரு காரணம் தான் அவங்க என் மேலே வச்சிருக்கிற.
All right, scores of people in fact died as a result of the rally in which actor Vijay was involved. He stuck around the spot where in fact the stampede took place for 10 minutes, after which he left. Belly, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast to talk more about this. Belly, Vijay has come up with an explanation. He has also apologized, but no amount of apology at this point in time, Belly, can bring those people back.
Absolutely, Vineet. Tamilaga Vetri Kadagam Chief Vijay has released his first video statement following the Karur stampede that had claimed 41 lives during his party rally, expressing a deep sorrow and addressing the ongoing political controversy also over the incident. And in that message, he had stated that I have not faced a painful situation like this in my life, and my heart aches. Only pain in my heart. People came to see me in the campaign. I'm always grateful to the love and affection people have on me. In order to ensure there should be no compromise on safety of people, I kept politics aside and chose a place that was safe for the people and requested the police department. But what should have happened, what should not have happened, had happened. This is what the message he has put out. And he also said that I'm quoting him, I'm also a human. When so many were affected, how can I leave those people and come back? I didn't go because I wanted to make sure no untoward incident happens again, is what he says. And he also addressed the scrutiny of his own party leaders, insisting that neither he nor the organizers acted negligently. They did not do anything wrong, but the party leaders and friends and social media users are filing FARs against them. And he appealed to, again, the Chief Minister Stalin, saying, CM sir, if you have an intention to take revenge, do anything to me, don't touch them. And I will either be in home or in my office. Do anything you want to me. That is what he had stated in that, and I quote Vijay on his video statement, Vinny. And hinting at, again, a political conspiracy. He said he had campaigned in 5 districts. So why did this happen in Karur is what he again questions. He says that 5 districts went on peaceful, and why did Karur become a kind of a problematic issue for him? So how did this occur? And people should know the truth.
All right,
and
Belly,
they are
thank you
watching
for that message and for that update. We take a short break on that note. We'll be back.
ये काजल दिन भर चलेगा और मिलेगा आपकी पसंदीदा शेड्स में भी।
अपने प्रोडक्ट को पूरी दुनिया के सामने ले जाना है तो ये सब क्यों? Amazon है ना, जहां है करोड़ों कस्टमर्स, इंडिया और 18 ग्लोबल मार्केटप्लेसेस से भी।
Justice Manmohan, Justice Pankaj Mittal, friends from the General Counsel Association of India, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much to come here and speak to all of you here. The idea behind my talk will be to give you a somewhat broader economic perspective of the legal system and how I, as a policymaker, think about this. So I will be somewhat critical, but hopefully you will take it in the right spirit, because we are in this boat together. So as many of you know that India is just this year become the world's 4th largest economy. We are still the fastest growing economy in the world. In about 24 months' time, we will become the world's 3rd largest economy. Then of course it's a long slog to the other big 2. Nevertheless, let it also be clear that the way our demographics is set up, we effectively have somewhere between 20 and 25 years to become Viksit Bharat. Effectively, this is the period in which we basically have to make it. After that, we will grow old. Just like Japan, just like Europe today, we too will grow old. So this is the 2 decades in which we have to grow as rapidly as we can in the hope that we are at least upper middle class, rather may not become really rich, but and that is an important thing that we need to do because this is a national opportunity for us, not just as a country, but as a civilization to come back. But in this, the legal fraternity really has to play a role. And the reason for this is, I'm afraid, the judicial system and the legal ecosystem, but the judicial system in particular, is now, in my view, the single biggest hurdle to becoming Viksit Bharat and growing rapidly. I've said this before, and I'm saying it again. So it's not something I'm saying for the first time. The inability to enforce contracts in time or to deliver justice is now such a major constraint that I'm telling you, if we do not see a major overhaul of the entire legal ecosystem, it will not matter what else we are doing in the rest of the system. And the physical infrastructure will get 5-6 years, it'll become good enough. Maybe we need to upgrade our cities. All of that we'll manage. But the legal system really has to be fixed. And let me show you what happens as a result, just as a policymaker, when we are making rules and regulations. We suffer from what is called the 99-1 problem. What is the 99-1 problem? It's the following. You see, when you're making rules, regulations, policies, 99% of those rules, regulations, policies, the bulk of it, is really reflects the problems of 1% of misuse, that 1% of dispute, and so on and so forth. Now, in any functioning system, that 1% of exceptions should actually get sorted out by the legal system. But because I do not think it will get sorted out there, all the rest of the 99% of laws, rules, regulations, and all kinds of complicated things that I have to do is effectively to take care of that 1%. And of course, it feeds back into itself, into a spiral. And so now we have ended up with the complicated system further creating its own complications and so on. So we really have to do something about this. And here, of course, everybody will talk. I'm sure the others will speak about the legal processes that need to be radically changed. But I think we need, first of all, a cultural change, a cultural acceptance, which the legal profession needs to have about the problems that it faces, rather than to have the rather self-congratulatory tone which one tends to hear in conferences like this. I'm sorry if I'm being a little bit rude, but anybody who has been to any conference in which I've spoken will know that that is my usual approach, and because I mean well. So as I said, please take it in the right spirit. Now, usually what happens is this is blamed on some colonial legacy of processes and so on. But in fact, we keep adding new problems to the system. And I'm going to use one example because I heard it being spoken about a little earlier. So I want to talk a little bit about pre-litigation mediation. This is not an old problem. We have only in the last decade or so added this as a new problem. And the legal profession thinks it's a solution, but the rest of us think it's a problem. So let me tell you why. Because according to Section 12A of the Commercial Courts Act of 2015, this was, for commercial cases, it was into a mandatory step, right? Now, let me clarify, I have no problem with the idea of mediation. It's a good thing, it should be done. But to make it mandatory has caused the following problem. Now, I collected data for 5 years, from 2000 to the year 24. from the two main commercial courts of Mumbai. Commercial capital, commercial courts, best place to get data on this issue. And I found that between 98 to 99% of pre-litigation mediation actually fails. It then goes back into the same courts that you are complaining about and trying to avoid. All you have achieved is added 6 months to the process, lawyers' fees, mediators, all kinds of other things, not to mention huge efforts to avoid that loop. What is the benefit to the system? As I said, I have no problem with mediation. Why not make this simply voluntary? And yet, huge amount of effort was put in by the legal profession to actually add this to the mediation bill of 2023. And it nearly became mandatory. A failed system, which we know it doesn't work, was nearly added and made mandatory for civil cases as well. It is because of a few people like myself who wrote rather angry notes to the parliamentary committee that it eventually did not become a part of the act. But the fact is, there has to be some level of responsibility that the legal profession has of adding something that may be beneficial to you as a profession, but is a massive cost to the rest of the system. So please think about this for the rest of the system and not, it really annoys me when I hear self-congratulatory tone when you come into these kinds of things, which is beneficial to a profession, but is a huge cost to the rest of the system. Number two, we need to move away from the way the legal profession is set up. It's set up as, I'm afraid, a medieval guild, where you have a caste system of stratification of lawyers that goes somewhat. You have senior advocates versus normal advocates. You have advocates of record. Why are all these people needed in the 21st century? Just have a
बिगेस्ट फेस्टिव ऑफर आ गया है। सिर्फ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स स्मार्ट में खरीदारी कीजिए और जीतिए 1 करोड़ रुपए का कैश प्राइज। एलईडी टीवी, एसी और डिश वॉशर पर अब सिर्फ 18% जीएसटी, साथ ही नो कॉस्ट ईएमआई और धमाकेदार कैशबैक ऑफर भी। तो जल्दी कीजिए, त्योहार की खरीदारी का असली मजा उठाइए। आज ही आइए इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स स्मार्ट पर।
Ever asked yourself why you feel confused all the time, even for a smallest decision? You sit with a plan, but your brain gives you 10 different scenarios. What if? What if this? What if that? And even after thinking about every possible scenario, you're still not able to take any action. The reason behind your overthinking is your brain is caught in a negative loop. Hi, I'm Dr. Meghna Dixit, a brain and performance expert for 28 years. I've helped over 2 lakh people remove success blockers and achieve extraordinary results in life. And I'm inviting you to my 3-hour Ultimate Success Builder workshop, where I will teach you how to rewire your brain for clarity, confidence, so you can take action at the right time. Click the link below and register today. Let's reprogram your mind together.
Just have a standardized SOP. Let anyone run it. In fact, why do you even for many levels of legal work, why do you even require somebody to have a legal degree to argue your case? This is the age of AI. If I as a citizen can figure out how to argue my case of perplexity, I should be allowed to do it. If I want to put something as record, let me do it. You tell me exactly what the process is, I will follow it. That I'm not arguing that I will not. But why do you need this caste system in there? And that, by the way, is also true of the judiciary. There is a clear difference between those who become judges from being senior advocates and those who are promoted from the lower courts. We do need to, if you want to get talent to come into the judiciary, you have to have a system where the West talent makes its way up the system. Can start right at the bottom and make their way up the system to the top. Because if that doesn't happen, then clearly then don't complain that the lower courts do not attract the level of quality that you want. Number 3, we need a culture change in the way people use the way the whole thinking about this profession works. Just to give you an example, not to be taken personally by anybody. You cannot have a profession where you use words like, my lord, or when you're doing a petition, it's called a prayer. You've got to be kidding me. We are all citizens of the same democratic republic. It is not appropriate for one citizen to call another citizen my lord or to pray to them. It is not acceptable. And we have got to end this. It also have to end this whole custom of having these long vacations. I'm sorry, this cannot go on. The judiciary is a public service like any other part of the state. I also work in the government. I also take vacations. But the judges are very happy for them to take vacations. But why should the entire court system be shut down for this? After all, the policemen also take vacations. I also take vacations. Do you shut down the entire police department for this? Let's say some other profession does this. Let's say the doctors decide that we will take summer vacation, Dussehra vacation, winter vacation, and shut down the hospitals for a large part of the time, and we will have vacation benches for emergency cases. Would that be acceptable? Why is it acceptable then for something that is effectively the responsibility of the state, and as a citizen, is something I should expect from the state and particular branch of the state? Now, my reason I'm making all of these points is very simple. Because we as a people, as I pointed out, have about 20-25 years to make it. We don't have time to waste. We all have to pull together. You're as much citizens as I am. And I have great faith in my fellow citizens that they will do the right thing. So I've really come here to besiege my fellow citizens that you from the legal profession really pull up your socks, because we are waiting for you to really push for this. If it makes you feel a little bit better, I have stood in similar events by other professions, bureaucrats, chartered accountants, fellow economists, and made similar pleas over the years. And I have to say, although there was a significant amount of hostility in the beginning, I have begun to now make a dent. Bureaucratic processes are slowly but steadily getting improved. Far from being shunned, I am now actually invited to Labasna at Mussoorie to give talks. And you know my tone of voice, so, top level officials in their part of their training put up with me. The way chartered accountancy profession, or in fact, my own profession of economists, have had to change themselves, has to be done because we have to be willing to go out there and question things from first principles. Because that's the only way change will happen. So let me stop right there and state that, dear fellow citizens, the moment has come. We are the generation we were waiting for. That nobody else is going to do this. It's between you and me. We are on the same ship. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
नमस्कार। मैं वर्ल्ड लीडर फोरम में आए सभी मेहमानों का अभिनंदन करता हूं। इस फोरम की टाइमिंग बहुत परफेक्ट है। और इसलिए मैं आपकी सराहना करता हूं। अभी पिछले हफ्ते ही लाल किले से मैंने नेक्स्ट जनरेशन रिफॉर्म्स की बात कही है और अब ये फोरम इस स्पिरिट के फोर्स मल्टीप्लायर के रूप में काम कर रहा है। साथियों, यहाँ वैश्विक परिस्थितियों पर, जियो इकोनॉमिक्स पर बहुत विस्तार से चर्चाएं हुई हैं और जब हम ग्लोबल कॉन्टेक्स्ट में देखते हैं तो आपको भारत की इकोनॉमी की मजबूती का एहसास होता है। आज भारत दुनिया की फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग मेजर इकोनॉमी है। हम बहुत जल्द दुनिया की तीसरी सबसे बड़ी इकोनॉमी बनने वाले हैं। एक्सपर्ट कह रहे हैं कि दुनिया की ग्रोथ में भारत का कंट्रीब्यूशन बहुत जल्द करीब 20% होने जा रहा है। ये ग्रोथ, ये रेजिलियंस जो हम भारत की इकोनॉमी में देख रहे हैं, इसके पीछे बीते एक दशक में भारत में आई मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक स्टेबिलिटी है। आज हमारा फिस्कल डेफिसिट घटकर 4.4% तक पहुंचने का अनुमान है और ये तब है जब हमने कोविड का इतना बड़ा संकट झेला है। आज हमारी कंपनियां कैपिटल मार्केट से रिकॉर्ड फंड्स जुटा रही हैं। आज हमारे बैंक्स पहले से कहीं ज्यादा मजबूत है। इन्फ्लेशन बहुत लो है, इंटरेस्ट रेट्स कम है। आज हमारा करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट कंट्रोल में है। फॉरेक्स रिजर्व भी बहुत मजबूत है। इतना ही नहीं, हर महीने लाखों डोमेस्टिक इन्वेस्टर्स SIPs के जरिए हजारों करोड़ रुपए मार्केट में लगा रहे हैं। साथियों, आप भी जानते हैं जब इकोनॉमी के फंडामेंटल्स मजबूत होते हैं, उसकी बुनियाद मजबूत होती है, तो उसका प्रभाव भी हर तरफ होता है। मैंने अभी 15 अगस्त को ही इस बारे में विस्तार से चर्चा की है। मैं उन बातों को नहीं दोहराऊंगा, लेकिन 15 अगस्त के आसपास और उसके बाद एक हफ्ते में जो कुछ हुआ है वो अपने आप में भारत की ग्रोथ स्टोरी का शानदार उदाहरण है। साथियों, अभी लेटेस्ट आंकड़ा आया है कि अकेले जून महीने में, यानी मैं एक महीने की बात करता हूं, अकेले जून के महीने में EPFO डेटा में 22 लाख फॉर्मल जॉब जुड़ी है और ये संख्या अब तक के किसी भी महीने से ज्यादा है। भारत की